I'm Neil Bergenroth. I'm an educator and a developer, and I coach rowing. My passion for building software is really grounded in the principle of, technology should work for us, not the other way around. I've developed 4 apps for the rowing machine. Being a lifelong educator, some people might look at a rowing machine and see an exercise machine. Well, I see a classroom. I see an opportunity for education. How do I get sort of the 3 passions that I have, which is education, technology, and rowing? And where do those 3 things meet? There's a ton of data that gets created every time you pull a stroke on that machine. So from force to distance to time, how much power you're putting in, the length of your stroke. And I thought, well, if I can capture that, then there's an opportunity to teach young people or people of all ages STEM concepts. What was born was the app I created, which was Rowing STEM, which was really one of the first apps I developed that, really allowed me to kind of explore that and really do something that I was really passionate about, and ultimately do something that I thought was going to create an impact. I taught chemistry for 5 years. There's a unit in chemistry that teaches molecules and the shapes that they make based on the atoms in a molecule. I saw kids struggling with the 3D aspect of, what does tetrahedral look like? In the textbook, there's a diagram, but it's flat. And so when Apple came out with ARKit, I thought, I know what I can do with this. That's their augmented reality platform. So I started creating a chemistry app and just kind of went to town on that. Different atoms, molecules, different shapes, those kinds of things. And it really comes alive for students so they can start to see the trends, they can start to understand things and really visualize them. I found that if you can meet children where they are and they're on their phones and all the rest of it, then you've immediately got a hook into an interest. So those are a couple of the chemistry apps that were really fueled by my passion for teaching science and STEM. Rowing is something that has been a life-changing experience for me. At the age of 17, I was good enough to be selected for the Great Britain junior national team. Came over to Canada to row in the World Championships there in the pair, which is a 2-person boat. Ultimately, I picked Boston University to come row. I rowed there for 4 years. And my degree was originally going to be athletic training because I thought athletic training meant coaching. But when I got there, I realized it was a 5-year program. My scholarship was only good for 4 years. And they were like, well, have you ever thought about the School of Education? I started teaching chemistry pretty much right out of college. Along the way, met my person who's my wife. We moved to Tulsa, and then I taught earth science for 5 years at the middle school level. I went online, because at that stage we did have the internet, and I'm like, do they have a rowing club? And I Googled, I don't even know, it was probably Yahoo at that point, right? And I said, Rowing Club Tulsa, and there was a rowing club. I turned to her, I said, this could probably work. Within about a month, the boosters committee had figured out that there was a new rowing coach in town and took me out to lunch to Charleston's. I just started to grow this program. More coaches came. In 2016, after stepping away from the club, I found myself with some free time, found a website online called Code with Chris, and just started watching videos and really started to learn the ropes of programming and coding. I wouldn't have been able to create the apps that I wanted to create if I wasn't thinking like a coach. Like, what would a coach need? You also have to be able to bring in, these tools such as coding or whatever technology it is you're using so that you can build something that's actually useful to people. I think it's fair to say that I'm a better coach because I'm a developer, and I'm also a better developer because I'm a coach. The advice I would give to other educators is that sometimes I think people think of things like computer science as rocket science. Sometimes when you show somebody how to do something and they realize that it's not as bad as they thought it was, it makes something more accessible and it allows them to see potential that people didn't really see in themselves to begin with.